So in other words, by understanding all those processes, by understanding this, what is a holistic kind of thing, this something which is actually, it's not. That's what I suppose. That's what it used to be. That somebody asked me to explain something, and then you think, and you pull on this piece of this thread,
the whole thing comes apart,
and the whole jumper comes apart.
Yeah.
You know? So it's sometimes very difficult just to say one thing without saying all these other things. But the thing is that like you were saying before, is you can't rely on this phenomena of an emergency mindset, or even being a predatory killer, you know, a natural born killer.
You know, did we mention the thing about the smiling and the endorphins?
Yeah, well, yeah, that was like when we were talking about
how do you train it?
If you're working in high intensities, and this is the key, because all fights are high intensity, essentially. All fights, other than if it's kind of conventional or it's specialized, i.e. in a ring or a boxing ring or whatever it is. Most fights on the street kick off very, very violently. They're rather like you're running a 100-meter race. There'll then be a break. People will be moving around. Breaks are being taken, and then bang, it comes in again. Bang! It's like a an ebb and flow of violence. And so you've got like a work period and a rest period, and a work period and a rest period. And that even takes place within boxing, MMA.
I wonder if that's the origin of the round, if it's a natural rhythm in fights.
I suppose it's a natural rhythm, but and within boxing or Muay Thai and all this MMA, you get a break in between. You don't get that on the street.
Yeah.
So most fights you have to assume are going to start violent. You know, they're going to be violent right from the start. So it's the one who can usually, all things being equal, who can sustain the violence for the longest will win. And if as those violent, you know, if you run 100 meters, it's 10 seconds when you blow. The idea is to see how many 100 meters or 50, or break that 100 meters down, and see how many of those you can do. How many can you do in the fight? So, you know, a fight is a series, if you like, of bridging this me to you, these short races.
Right.
When you're trying to accomplish something, either on the ground, and then looking for an active rest. In other words, by separation, footwork, evasion, whatever it's going to be, or tying the guy up. And what's that? These are our kids. This is our life.
I don't even want to look. Okay, go ahead.
And so that therefore whatever training you have to do, it has to be based upon that. And that's where you get high interval training. Not as something which you're training like as an athlete, but as something you're training with a fight in mind. And those intervals can vary, and the work to rest ratio is usually 2 to 1. So as you work 10 seconds or whatever it is, cut back 5 seconds, work 15 seconds, and then rest half of that, or 30 seconds and rest for 15. So you work to rest is 2 to 1, basically. It's not going to be that exact in a fight, but you're training the anaerobic system, if you like, to work within that dimension. And by working at very high intensities, with a violent intent, the actual physical action will produce the aggression if the aggression wasn't there in the first place. Rather like I feel happy now. I'm getting an endorphin rush just by smiling.
Well, that's what I was talking about. I mean, just because they actually have proven that.
Yeah, you will get a feedback. And by doing it in this way, by training in this way, you not only will test your speed, skills, core stability, reactive powers, and all those things, hand-eye coordination, timing, has to be tested within that. You can't train that within a lower intensity. It has to be the intensity of a fight. It has to be tested within that intensity. And that's why you have to replicate that within the gym. Are you okay?
Yeah.